Hey guys, this is US Patriot 428. This is my first video on YouTube, so bear with me as I stumble through this. But I wanted to do a quick first thought kind of review on a new product that I just recently purchased. And this is going to be on the Kelty Red Cloud 90. And we're first just going to start with some specs on it. And then we're going to get into the main features that the bag offers. And here we go. So overall, the Red Cloud 90, it's actually a 92-liter backpack total, which adds up to around 5,600 cubic inches. So it's a big pack. It's definitely an extended day backpack. And the weight on it for the small/medium is going to be about 5 pounds 12 ounces. For the medium/large version, you're going to be looking at about 6 pounds. And the torso is adjustable, which we will get into that in a little bit. But also hydration compatibility, of course, we'll get into that as well. Overall, for the price, it's just a fantastic pack. And I looked on YouTube before buying this pack. I've seen it in other stores, but I just couldn't find any real definitive video reviews on this pack, and so that's why I'm doing this, in hopes to kind of give you guys, the consumer, a little bit of insight into what this pack is going to give you before you shell out the cash for it. Keep in mind that this is a 2012 model, so last year's model. This year model, 2013, does look a little bit different. It's slightly lighter weight by I think maybe 2 or 3 ounces. And yeah, let's get into it. So I haven't done anything to the pack yet. It's completely stock the way I took it out of the box. Towards the end of the video, I am going to be putting up a link to the place where I got this, and they had a pretty decent deal on it. It was clearance since it's last year's model, and I think Kelty products are really underrated for the most part. They make great stuff, and I don't think you can go wrong with them. Starting out here on the front of the pack, you just have a couple different pouches here. I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer here so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. And bring it over this way. So on the front of the back, depending on how you're looking at it, you have a couple different ways to get into this bag. At the top, of course, you have zipper on the front here, which you can use like a map pocket. Some people might use this one as first aid storage. This one is a little bit narrow in contrast to the other one on the back side here. This one definitely gives you a lot more space, and it's a lot deeper from top to bottom. So for first aid, this one might be a little bit better suited for that. So 2 zippable pockets, one here, one here. The underside of this, when opening this guy up, flip that around so you can see kind of what I'm talking about here. In the underside of this, you can also take this off and use it as a little day pack or a fanny pack. I don't necessarily see myself doing that, but you may find that it's really useful. And so in here, you've got the clips, totally adjustable. They're actually the same size clips that they use on the original hip belt of the pack, so pretty durable. And if using this as a waist pack is something that you'd want to do, then what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to do 2 different things. The pack is going to be attached here, here, and here, and you're just going to have to back these out. They don't give you some quick clips or anything like that on here to do that with, so not a big deal, but it will take you a little bit more time to do that. Before we get too much into the interior of the pack, I'm just going to keep showing you guys what it offers on the outside here. So going down the front of the pack here still, move this down just a little bit. On the front, a couple different things here. They give you a nice strong handle here, so it gives you another way to kind of lug the pack around if you're at base camp or whatever. Grab this, gives you a good handle. Kind of a little daisy chain built in here, so if you need to throw some beaners on there, or some extra rope, or whatever you need there, water bottles, you've got a place to do that. So here we've got some fairly nice zippers. They work really nice. I haven't had them snagged or anything like that so far. Granted, I haven't taken this out in the field yet, but I will be doing that in about a month or so. And I'm going to update this video and actually give you another video going up to Utah, and going to be out for a few days in the backcountry with it. So I'll let you know what I think of it then as well too. So opening this up, let's get these towels out of here so you can see what I'm doing. That comes down. Not a whole lot of pockets in here, but what you do have is another little separation here. It actually goes down all the way to the bottom down here, so it does give you a couple different options as far as organization and however you want to store your extra gear in there. And then of course on the side of the pack you have two decent sized pouches here that are going to open like that. They don't go all the way around as far as the zipper is concerned, but they do open up and give you enough room there to put something pretty substantial size in there. Hopefully you guys can see that right in here. Okay. Now, one of the great things about this pack, and it's one of the many reasons that I bought it, was because I really like the fact that you can also, you've got this pouch here, but you can also go behind here all the way through. I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit so you guys can see this down here. Going all the way down here is Velcro that's actually separating, or I should say connecting, this pouch from the main body of the pack. And so it comes all the way through here, and that opening, as you can tell, once it's separated, is fairly large. It's fairly wide, and when removing the compression straps from the top and bottom, that gives you a lot more options to carry trekking poles, tripods, maybe even a rifle. Coming down through here using the pocket, you will notice that this pocket down here is actually divided with a stitch. I don't really know why they did that, but I will be taking that out so that this will be one main compartment there. So if I want to put an Nalgene bottle in there, or the butt stock of a rifle or whatever, that will just fit down in there. And then you've got the entire pack, including the compression straps, to secure that equipment. And I think that's great, and it's the same way on both sides. So you're really opening up the capability of what you can do there. And I mean, anything, tent poles, anything you can think of, and it's going to secure it up to the very top of the pack, up here even. I mean, it's pretty great, pretty nice little feature that they thought of. I might even take another piece of Velcro and just put it on here on the hook side of the Velcro, so that that's, you know, constantly open. That way I don't have to separate it out every time I want to put something down through there. So neat little feature. So we'll come back up a little bit here, and we already talked about this outside pocket, but if you need to get into the pack without going from the top or the bottom, you can do that. You need to undo all 5 of the compression straps. And behind, make sure you guys can see that. Okay. So behind here, you have a whole other zipper. And it's upside down horseshoe design, so you can open this up, and this is utilizing a little bit heavier zipper than the sides. And don't make fun of my pillow too much, it's the only one I could find. So now you can get into the center of the pack. And it also gives you a little bit of a compression netting in here with the zipper, so you can open that up. And then inside you've got an entire pack that you can get into without having to mess around with opening everything up top or down below, which is just a great feature. And in a second I'll take this pillow out of here and I'll show you the very inside of the pack. Okay, so moving on down to the bottom of the pack here. You've got your 2 compression straps. And these are long enough so that if you need to put any sort of let's see here, get that just right. Any sort of sleeping bag or tent or anything down at the bottom here, you do have plenty of strapping for that. Plus you have these 2 separate straps here, you kind of see moving independently here, to hang off more carabiners, rope. You can bring some trekking poles down through here if you need to, whatever. But you've got all this extra room down here, even once these are clipped, to house whatever you need down here. The only thing I wish they would have done different with this is that the material on the bottom of the pack here is actually not quite as durable, or as thick anyway, as the material up at the very top of the pack. And I think that they would have maybe done better to maybe reverse that, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. So the biggest zipper on the entire pack is this one here, where your sleeping bag will go. And it's a very nice, durable zipper. It seems to be so far anyway. A lot there. Very large opening, so I mean, pretty much any backpacking sleeping bag should fit in this, as long as you're using a compression sack of some sort. And one of the really cool things about this is that, and I'll get in here a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is a separation right here between the main compartment of the pack and the sleeping bag area, and it is separated by this piece of material, and it's using these 3 little hooks to separate this. And what's great is that this is actually really quick to undo. I don't see it as something that's going to be problematic as far as loosening or undoing itself when you don't want it to. So that pops out, and then you've got another way to get right into the main compartment of the bag. So pretty neat, I think. back to the top of the bag. Standard compression top on the bag. So you do have the ability to overstuff it a little bit. So I folded over this top lip of the bag, and inside, hopefully you guys can see this here, this is where your hydration bladder is going to go. This pocket reaches down about a foot, maybe about a foot and a half down into the bag. And they've given you these nice little clips here. So you can, with most Camelback bladders, they've got the one single hook in the center of the bladder up top. So you could use one or both of these little hooks to hook it onto, and then it's going to hang. That'll help it lay flatter in the bag. With like a platypus bladder or an osprey bladder, those will work in here as well. You shouldn't have any problem fitting a 100-ounce bladder in here. It is a little narrow than some other openings that I've seen on some larger backpacks, but a lot of the bladders nowadays are pretty narrow anyway, so hopefully that will work for you if you do plan on using a bladder. So the interior of the bag is not much to talk about really, other than the hydration compatibility. There's no extra pockets or anything inside. It's just a big barrel basically. The hydration bladder, once you've got it in there, the hose will come out either side, and so when looking at the side of the bag in here, it's going to come out right here, and likewise on the other side. So easy to put on whatever direction you'd like it. This particular bag is a small medium. I'm about 6'3", but I'm fairly thin. My spine is right about 18.5 inches long. And this pack actually, even though it says it maxes out at 18.5 inches for the small medium, I find that I actually have it set more in like a 17.5, and it's plenty big. The smallest adjustment on this, if I didn't already say, is about 14.5. And like I said, largest adjustment on the small medium is 18.5. And then on the medium large, the smallest adjustment is 17.5, and the largest is, I want to say, grab my notes here, I don't want to give you guys false information. On the medium large, 17.5 up to 21 inches. Now, of course, compression strap on the top here, so once you get everything loaded, this will kind of bring everything back into control for you. So now we're going to talk about the suspension on the pack. And so I flip this around here. So from the top of the bag down, what we've got. So of course you've got your handle. So when picking up a full pack, if you can, if you're moving the pack around, always try to use the handle, because the shoulder straps are really not meant to support the weight. The weight should either be supported on the waist belt or by the top handle right here. So beyond that, what you've got is your load lifter straps here, which connect the top of the pack to the top of your shoulder, or the very top front of your shoulder. One on each side, of course. This strap here is again what's connecting the top kind of fanny pack portion of the bag, the top cover, to the bag itself right here. Alright. Of course, these buckles on the sides again are also attaching and managing that top portion of the bag. They attach down here by your shoulder, but they attach to the bag itself right here. They do not attach to your actual shoulder strap. So moving down here, move the straps out of the way for a second. So you've got a decent amount of padding here. I don't think they went too overboard with it. I think it's fairly comfortable. I've had experience with Kelty and the type of padding that they use in the past at my job, and also with other friends' backpacks. And it tends to be sometimes a little bit beefier padding than you'll see on other packs, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your body type and what you like. But overall, I think on a 90-liter pack or a 92-liter pack, it's not a bad thing. You can see here, hopefully you can see, this has the number 18 on it. This is kind of your adjustment, kind of gives you an idea of, according to what length spine you have, what adjustment you should see here. And you adjust it. They call this the Cloud Lock suspension. I think on the 2013 model they're calling it the Cloud Lock 2. I don't really know how much they changed with it. As far as I know, it's fairly similar. But so when adjusting the height and length of this pack, you're just adjusting this panel, which the shoulder straps are attached to. And you adjust it down here. You adjust it by basically grabbing this little loop, and this orange patch that's on here that says dynamic airflow, between this and another strip of webbing is again Velcro. And basically grabbing this loop and pulling it up will separate out this Velcro that's in here. And once that's separated, you can tug down or pull up on this, and it will in turn adjust this panel down or up to whatever desired length you need it for your specific spine length. You can see, hopefully here, I'll move this up a little bit, that the stays are aluminum. They're aluminum stays down here. They start actually at the bottom, right here, behind this main padding, and they come up here, and they run all the way up here to the very top of the bag, right here. And these are adjustable in the sense that you can bend them, and you need to bend them if you want the perfect pack fit. A lot of people don't realize that this is something that you can do. It's really easy. You don't have to take the stays out to do it, and it's going to make your trip and your experience with backpacking, I think, a lot nicer because you can really customize the bag to your particular spine shape. So on the hip belt, it's pretty straightforward. It is giving you, on each hip, it's giving you a small little pocket to put some knives in or some quick access first aid stuff, whatever you might need. Both sides have that, there and there. And they're basically using a thick piece of, plastic, for lack of a better term here, that runs all the way, basically starting here, all the way through it, back behind here, and all the way to the other side. And then of course it's covered by padding, which is actually pretty well contoured. I was pretty impressed when I put it on last night. The back of the pack right here where my thumb is, right where it says Kelty, is actually got a rubberized coating on it for extra grip. So when this portion is kind of in your lumbar area of your back, it will kind of help stick to your clothing and give it a little bit of extra grip and help it stay in place, which is kind of cool. Nice little extra touch, and looks pretty neat too. So yeah, so the buckle itself, nothing special, typical buckle. Just so you guys know, this particular pack is adjusted by pulling inward toward your belly button. There are some packs that will actually adjust away from the buckle toward like the outside of your hips, and I don't really care for those. I think it's a little bit more intuitive to adjust by pulling inward like that. I just feel like it's a little bit more awkward to do it the other way, but that's just me. So that's basically the hip belt. So other than that, if I missed anything, if I didn't cover anything that you guys are curious about on this pack, let me know. As I said, this is just preliminary thoughts, but I'm definitely going to take it out and put it through its paces and see what we think. And I'm going to be doing that, like I said, in a couple months. So hopefully it will not let me down. And definitely would say to check out some other great videos. One of my favorite YouTubers, I have two actually that I try to check out their pages on a daily basis, and that is Crockett20 and Nut and Fancy. They both do some great gear reviews. I know that they also enjoy the Kelty brand, but I'll go watch their videos and see what they have to say about the different Kelty products that they use. I'm by no means endorsed by Kelty. My job actually puts a lot of different brands in my hands, and I get to see a lot of different manufacturers out there, and there's a lot of awesome stuff. But I really have to say that for the price that this pack was, I just really can't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, the small medium version that I have here, it's still 92 liters, which is 5,600 cubic inches. It weighs in, because the suspension is a little bit smaller, it weighs in a couple ounces lighter than the medium large. Medium large was 6 pounds, this one is 5 pounds, 12 ounces. And yeah, so like I said, guys, feel free to comment. Please subscribe, that'd be great. And definitely check out the other great streamers that I have on my page, like Crockett20 and Nut and Fancy. They've got a lot of good information for you, and I will try to continue kind of walking in their footsteps. They are the ones that kind of made me feel like I, might want to start doing this. And I've been outdoors oriented for a long time, and this has just kind of really spurred me to put some stuff in front of the camera for you. So hope you don't mind me babbling. I know this was a long video, but I do think it's a great bag to check out, and I will put the address up there. I'll annotate it so that you guys can hopefully go to REI and get this bag if it's something that you think you might need. Considering that there's a lot of 80-liter bags out there that are heavier than this bag, it's something to consider. So it's definitely a good bang for your buck. So anyways, guys, take it easy, and we'll see ya. Thanks.